of you where you're talking about brain vitality. Well, it's a solid standard product, but in its own right, it is absolutely spectacular. If you saw those studies that I've been posting, I'm going to post them on the rest of the ingredients too now, so you can take them all off and look at them and keep them for learning and for presentations and things like that. But the one we discover more and more, and it's when we do, then we incorporate it into products. So formulations are always changed. They really loved the H2 and the H2 stick when they were here, and we have a new not a new formulation, but a different flavored formulation that when this batch runs out, we're going to bring, which everyone agrees is even much better tasting, and perhaps not so much on taste, more like slightly flavored, but more like a bottle of water. So with the dynamics of what you've got there, and you've seen things, I don't know if you've seen Melanie Ward's photos that have been posted up on Facebook, but in 3 days, she went back 20 years just by rubbing copious amounts of water made with the Super H2 stick, so the hydrogen and oxygen would penetrate her skin quickly, and you just do it repeatedly for a little while in the morning, and it does incredible things for your skin. In fact, I started talking about how it could help skin because studies were showing that kind of thing, and why shouldn't it? Of course, cells need oxygen, and that's important, but really what hydrogen puts the real sizzle into the skin. And when you do that, you're neutralizing. The skin's so exposed, especially to pollution, because your skin doesn't get oxygen from the lungs, it gets oxygen from the outside. It absorbs it through the pores. So your blood system does not supply the oxygen in your skin cells. And so it provides nutrients, but it does not provide that. So as a consequence, if you have polluted air, of course it goes through with the oxygen, and now it's becoming a big factor for aging of skin as scientists are onto it and seeing what's happened, and the effects are serious. But with a product like the H2 stick, it has hydrogen, which is the most powerful antioxidant found in nature, perhaps in the world. There's immense power for neutralizing free radicals and toxins. So you do that to your skin to start with. And then hydrogen is like the hydrogen bomb. It has enormous amounts of energy. That's why they picked that element to. I mean, first they started off, the uranium bombs, but they went to the hydrogen bomb because they knew the potential was so immense. Well, on a molecular level in your skin or in your body, wherever it is, it goes into the cells, and that hydrogen molecule has a supercharged electron around it that does nothing, well, not nothing, but it creates large amounts of energy, and then the hydrogen itself can support the activation of many biological systems. So it's an extraordinary product in line. But if you come back to brain vitality, I mean, what good would you really be if you had a good, healthy body and you had dementia? What kind of life is that? Or you had Alzheimer's and dementia, which people have. But here we have, this is what makes this so sensational. It actually turns around and supports the processes in the body that are taking place to stop the Alzheimer's or the dementia from occurring, to support the systems that will repair it and reverse it. Now, it doesn't mean it does it by itself, but it supports the systems that do it, and it's like giving it nitro in gasoline, if you know what that is. You have nitro, you're going as fast as you can, you kick in the nitro, and you just blast off. So that's what it does in the brain, and since the brain has so much oxidation, you have a tremendous amount of rusting, decay, oxidation that's going on within the cells, and so your brain usually goes first. Now, sometimes you'll have many different health effects, but you have to understand now, in fact, the scientists just know now, just within 6 months, that every single cell in your body is in communication with every other single cell in your body, and not just within the organs, but throughout the entire body, and it all goes back to the brain and then down. So keeping your brain healthy is really something else. And the nice thing about brain vitality, which I just announced, is it, and you have to say word supports. You can't say stimulates. That's not legal. So you have to say supports when you're talking about it. It supports this system. It supports this function, that type of thing. Like with the age pill, it supports the production of, as precursors of NAD+. So we say support. So with what has been discovered is that one of the ingredients in the age pill, which is curcuminoids, has a spectacular effect on supporting the bodies against or if they have Alzheimer's. It's stunning. And with the other systems that back up, when it's done, it's shown. What else done is really fantastic. This is a complex formulation. It's now we have others that are more complex to make, but this is quite complex because it's working with the most important delicate organ in your body. So with that, here's the side effect that we just found out. A study came out and showed that these curcuminoids support increases or support long telomeres. And now TSX does that. And but to have, if you're taking the age pill and brain vitality, in Triangle of Life, things like that, you want to accelerate your change of your chronological time clock back to your biological age you want to be. TSX is the way to go real fast and keep it. But it's slower, but it's steady and it's progressing on. So rather than having deteriorating telomeres because of the curcuminoids in the age pill, it supports them to stay long, to supports the systems that helps them to grow longer, not as fast as TSX. I mean, TSX is blazing fast, but fast enough to keep ahead. We predict or believe it's fast enough to keep ahead of the loss in telomeres that happens every time the cell divides. So what a remarkable product. And you know, just here DW picks it up out of the air, and with that you can see the amount of work we put into it. So I'm not going to take too much more time because I'd like to hear from some of the people, but I'll tell you a few things that we're going to be doing. I've bathed now in the water with the Super H2 pill, and I'll tell you what, DW, if you get back into bathing, you should try it yourself because it really is marvelous. I put 6 sticks in, and my skin felt good and softer and nicer, and there was a slight little tingling. I put 10 packs in, and I soaked in that, and you only want to fill the tub about as full as, not clear full, as full as it is, so that when you slip into it, your body is covered with it. And then just lay there for a half an hour or so. All of this hydrogen and oxygen is detoxifying and energizing your skin. And when I come out of that tub, because I don't want to, I see studies and I understand how some things can be over-exaggerated. I don't like that. I like our products to be hyped as much as possible. The reality is far beyond that. But when I get out, my skin felt, it was just like, tingly is not quite the right word, but it was just an energetic feeling that was so profound. It was like tingles in the skin, and I could not believe how good everything felt in joints and all of that from and muscles, because the hydrogen is going completely through all those cells, all those systems, and so it was quite remarkable. Now, a lot of people might not want to take a bath with it, but a lot will. And so what we're working on now, and I can't give you a date it'll be out, but what we're working on now is we're going to bring a bath bomb out. and it'll be based upon the hydrogen, oxygen, diatomic hydrogen, superoxygenation water. Plus, it'll have a few other things which will really help against formation or removal, support the body in its fight against that, for lactic acid, for aches and pains, and all of those kinds of things. So we're going to take it, so you fill the tub to that certain level, dissolve it in, and not too much, just get it going. Even if it's not fully dissolved, get in then, because the hydrogen is coming out as you're there, and you lay there for half an hour. All the hydrogen, of course, has been released, and lots of it's going into your body. So that's the way it works. So we're going to come up with a bath bomb so that when you want to really super treat your skin, you can do it. In the meantime, you can be like me. Yes, I bathed in it, and I'm going to do it again with it. But in the morning, if I've showered or shaved, whatever I've done at the end, I'll take my supplements. That's the way I do it. And of course, I take them at night too. But as I take my supplements, I now take them with H2 stick water. So I have the hydrogen, diatomic hydrogen water, enriched water, that I take my supplements with, which makes sense too. And but the important thing about that is what I do with it is I just dip my fingers in the glass and get them quite wet and rub them over my forehead and my skin and my face. And it only takes a couple of days, and you can see a huge change that's occurring there. You got to do it a few times, because once it goes in, the hydrogen is a gas, so it's evaporating. So just do it a few times, and then you'll have an effect coming on, and then you'll want to do it every morning. So of course, I'm a guy, but I'm sure my hands are clean, but I'll let it react for about 10 or 15 minutes. And usually I try to get 15 or sometimes 20 if I get lucky, if I got the time. But then it's the full release of the hydrogen is within the water, and so then I dip my fingers into it and make them wet, and I just put copious amounts all over my skin, under my eyes, through any place that looks like wrinkles or sagging or imperfection, and I have a really tremendous effect. I drink the water, and I use the same water. You can drink it all first if you want, leave enough in it, and you'll soon find out how much to leave, so you can put it all over your skin. But I like putting it on first, because at that time the hydrogen concentration is the greatest, and when you get a small volume of water, then the hydrogen diffuses faster. So that's just some hints for what you're doing. And signing off this morning, I'm going to be here listening to the people that are going on, but we have some, I told people at the red carpet event about a big product coming out, and other products that are coming out too, that some of you know about, like 10X, which is going to be so spectacular you can't hardly describe it with what it can do. I mean, it's not quite on the level of the age pill or TSX, but it's or the hydrogen stick, but it's right there. I mean, if they're A++, this is an A++. Well, this is an A+. That's the way I would rate it with it. But then another, and you're going to be hearing about it. It won't take us but a few months to get it done, but it's called DBOM. And that is DBOM. And so DBOM. Now, I've been calling it Moab, the mother of all bombs, and I will tell you what this will do. Will shock you right out of your gourd. This thing is unbelievable in what we've discovered, been able to find, got the ingredients made and reacted, and their ingredients are on the way here. And when you hear what this is, you'll think most adults are going to want it because of what it is. I'm not going to tell you all that now. I'll just keep you anxiously waiting. But when the bomb hits, it'll be like a super nuke going off too, just the way that the H2 stick is that super nuke right now, and so is the H pill. They're raging, and Sisel Rip is running right with them, and then TOL, the Triangle of Life, and all these other products, Brain Vitality, they all come along with it. So what are we doing? building a bigger, better, younger, healthier, longer living you. And that's the mission. One of the missions we're in, besides helping to bring you happiness, we hope, and also to greatly increase your incomes, making you prosperous or even wealthy in a lot of cases. So I'll turn time back to you, DW, and my thanks to all the people who come out to the red carpet event and to the staff that was there to help and assist, and it was a very successful one. And so the next time we have one, to see if you can make it out here, or we're going to have a Mower Mountain event too that you'll be able to come to this summer also, and it will be, and some of these things will be out or so close to out that we'll be talking about those, and it will be, you can fly out in an airplane, you'll fly back under your own power when you see what we're doing, because there is no other company like Sisel anywhere. Wouldn't you agree?